everybody. Welcome to iCast Guidance, your weekly Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPG podcast, where every week, Rich, Garret, and I pick up a subject around the culture of gaming and discuss it with you. So, without further ado, sharpen up those daggers. We're going to get started right now. Morning, Garret. Morning, Nathan. Morning, Rich.
Hello.
Why you say it like that?
Good morning.
So
I love you so much.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't
whatever,
sound like love.
bro.
Can I just say that, we've got a holiday episode coming in. Rich brought me a present this morning. You brought me kids on bikes.
Yes,
I'm like,
sir.
oh my God. It's one I've been meaning to get for a while, and I wanted to thank you for that. That's awesome.
Of course,
So
man. I
really
can't wait
cool.
to play it. I'm excited.
I know.
Could you briefly describe what that is?
Oh, I guess that's true. I should probably describe what that
It's
is.
saying he got me kids on bikes,
Oh, that sounds a little
I
strange.
found them.
Okay.
right? So
Kids on Bikes is a tabletop role-playing game. It's a system that you can utilize inside of a whole bunch of other storylines. So it's basically your base mechanics system. And it sort of takes off from the notion of, if you think about kids on bikes in the movie E.T. or the 1980s when Dungeons and Dragons was first starting to come into, fashion, you had a lot of kids in neighborhoods that ran around on bicycles. And so you see that a lot in Stranger Things. So there's a mechanics system based on that.
And it's very rules light, and it's very, role play pacing heavy in a sense.
And you're not like super overpowered, right?
No, it's more
Kinda
like
basic.
you're
Just a
kind
kid
of
on
like
a
a
bike.
person, and like these monsters are like really powerful.
Hell yeah.
There is different versions like Kids on Brooms where there is magic and everything, but this is one of the systems they use in Dimension 20 for their show. And I really enjoy watching it.
So we got a cool episode today. We're going to do the 12 Days of Christmas. We're not going to sing it. We're not going to sing it because that 5 golden ring part is going to get to me after a while. But
yeah,
Same here. Every part's going to get to me. So.
so we're going to do the 12 items, the 12 magic items, or just 12 items in general. And the idea is that it's items that you would give to your party or to your other players to make them either OP or just outright ridiculous. So each of the 4 of us have picked 3.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for this. It's going to be so
Yes.
fun.
It's going to be good. It's going to
Yes.
be good. We got a comment to read, though, like we normally start off with. So I'm going to jump into that. And this comment was on one of our shorts on YouTube. And it was from Tonight You, which, number one, great screen name. Love the hand banana reference there. That's awesome. And Tonight You says, nah, the party meets the same group of bandits every time. They get more aggressive and run away when the party gets the upper hand. This is a comment relating to one of our travel videos. If the party actually kills one, they learn a part of the bandit group's backstory with a note or a letter to that bandit's wife. So then the comment goes on to sort of detail how that could get better. But I love this idea that there's a reoccurring group of aggressives that you can never, ever quite wipe out.
and that could be really sad. Like you have to deliver this letter to this bandit's wife, like that poor wife. I mean, I feel like in role-playing games, you're always like raring to fuck some dude up, like just pull out your sword and ask questions later. Like nobody wants to talk first. It just goes straight to kill. You kill this dude and suddenly you have to deliver a letter to his wife, and the wife breaks down. Like, does he have a kid too? Like,
what a fun way to humanize your enemies.
Seriously.
And add a layer of like guilt and realism.
Yeah.
I can see the look on Garrett's face right now, and I know exactly what he's going to say.
Because you've done it to us.
I have done it to you. It
He's done it to us. We've killed a merc.
was a guard.
It was a knight,
guard.
like a town knight or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And wasn't there a picture drawn from his little kid in his
There
pocket?
was a little kid's drawing in his pocket that said, "I love you, Daddy."
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
You know what's funny? I don't think anybody talked about it for more than a minute.
No, you guys all completely brushed that off. Like, you're not going to get under our skin tonight.
Yeah.
No, it was horrible.
No.
It hit a little bit, but I mean, we still kill every single fucking thing we come across now.
Yeah. Because all of our characters are assholes.
Yeah, we are.
Psychotic.
I mean, I
They're
think
all
that's-
Rambo.
Dope idea.
But also with, it adds, like we were talking about, like, like the relationship with these guards, or, this reoccurring relationship that gets deeper every time you run into them, could be funny. Could be
No, I
funny to
agree.
see
Yeah,
where
I
that
agree.
leads,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the thing we got to remember here is that travel video was a lot about how to improve travel. But one of the key things that I'm in love with travel is how it contributes to the narrative, how these are opportunities to contribute to the narrative. So we talk about fireside chats. We talk about bonding with characters. We talk about ways to set up scenarios that play out later in the game. And this idea from Tonight You is another one. It's this idea where, now we've got this reoccurring group of bandits that's going to be hitting us up all the time. And maybe we take one out and they all scatter. And then again, another time we take one out and they all scatter. It's another way to just kind of like pepper the narrative with something fun and has the ability to enhance the story.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I appreciate that comment. And don't forget, you guys, if you'd like to come and comment on our content today, come on over to YouTube and find Wither and Bloom Studios on YouTube and give us a comment if we like it or we think it's pertinent to what we're going to do, or we think it's worth sharing. We will definitely read it on the air. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do the 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of making your party OP. And each of us has 3, but we never talked about who was going first.
Roll a D4.
Oh,
You want me to roll a D4?
all right. I can.
I want to be 2.
All right, I'll be 3.
You're 1.
All right, Garrett's 1 and I'll be 4.
Why am I number 1?
Well, because you're my number 1 in my heart.
Because you're number 1 with us, Garrett. And guess what I roll? You saw it from all the way over there.
Nice.
Looks like Garrett's going to give us the start.
Okay.
So on the first day of Christmas, what do we say? On the first day of Christmas, my what?
My true love gave
My
to
true
me.
love gave to me.
Yeah.
my DM gave to me.
My DM gave to me. Okay, what do we got?
All right. I'm going to start it off with simple. This is kind of we did talk about bringing a gag gift in also.
Yeah.
Everyone, you got your white elephant or whatever. You always got that gag gift. Mine's not super lame, but I picked Baba Yaga's dancing broom. It's new to the 2024 DMG. Why I'm saying it's kind of a gag gift is it's pretty lame. It's pretty basic. You can't fly on this broom. It is essentially just an animated broom. You can cast it has charges.
Right.
I believe it was 3 charges that you can cast the spell animated broom.
Right.
So it comes to life. I guess it has a very limited amount of hit points and it can do a limited amount of damage. But when I was doing research on this thing, it was pretty much, it can clean your house for you.
I think that's a great gift to give.
It could be a distraction technique.
Yeah, I love that.
You could use it to distract someone. But yeah.
Now, if you were to summon this thing, right, would you give it a personality? Because that's all it's really there for. It really isn't doing much else,
Maybe. I mean, is it going to be like a bubbly broom or?
It could be whatever you wanted. You know what I mean? It's giving it's giving Beauty and the Beast vibes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I have found so many items in the DM's guide that are seemingly useless. Like the Staff of Flowers. I think it's called Staff of Flowers. This is not my item, by the way, but it's one of those magic items where you look at it and you're like, what would I do with that? It doesn't have some kind of combat element to it. So now I'm immediately thinking, all right, how could I use this to enhance the story? Like, what could I do with this? And this broom that you're talking about, Garrett, is like, all right, I could think of some fun scenarios with that where, it can clean your house. It can really annoy your party members. It can become a moment of humor.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It could do a little bit of damage. It could whack someone upside the head,
Or you could set up like a trip with it. Like go low. I'm going to push them over it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe it's not that lame. I don't
It
know.
would be really saved if you could ride it. That would be the saving grace.
If it was a riding broom, then
yeah,
no brainer.
Up to your DMF,
awesome.
he's cool or not,
Yeah, I like that one.
Like easy
Yeah.
crime scene sweep.
Yeah, that's true.
You're like, hey, take care of this.
Quick, clean up this problem.
Hey.
Got to bring in the cleaner.
There's blood over there.
Yeah.
Put your mop head on.
Hey, gabagoo.
All right, there's my simple item.
All right, I like that.
My
So,
basic
so that's what we got on the. So I got to write these down because I want to be able to make a list that we can read at the very, very end.
Yes.
Rich, what do you got for us?
Yeah. So going on to number 2, I'm going to use.
Wait. You got to say on the second day of Christmas, my DM gave. You got to say it.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, here we go.
Come on, that's part of the.
On the second day of Christmas, my DM gave to me.
Where's your spirit, man?
On the second day of Christmas, my DM gave to me.
All right, there you go.
That's too much. Okay.
I like that.
You know, it's not enough, and then it's too much for you, Todd. So I'm going to talk about the image that probably scared me the most and really stuck out to me in the new DMG. It's called the Robe of Eyes.
Oh.
And it is a wondrous item. It's a rare, and it requires attunement. It says, this robe is adorned with eye-like patterns. While you wear the robe, you gain the following benefits. All-around vision. The robe gives you advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. Special senses. You have dark vision and true sight, both with a range of 120 feet. Awesome.
Bonkers.
But it also comes with a huge drawback that is equally as awesome as that. It's called, it's just a light spell cast on the robe, or a daylight spell cast within 5 feet of the robe gives you the blinded condition for 1 minute. At the end of each of your turns, you make a Constitution saving throw, ending the condition on yourself on a success.
Well, that makes sense to me because if you're covered in eyes, bright light is absolutely going to blind you.
Yeah, like what a awesome way to give you such like a powerful boost, but also give you such a wondrous weakness. It's really well balanced, I think.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it for sure.
And also like thematically, let's talk about that. Right, that's awesome. Let's say you're some darker magic character and you're walking around with a robe covered in eyes.
Well, this is the thing I actually have always thought about. It's like we often think about these objects that we're carrying around with us based in what they can do. But I love this idea of what's the perception of everyone else around us when we're walking around with these things.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's talk about the fact that in Harry Potter, right, the Deathly Hallows, these people had these 3 wondrous items, and they became famous for them. Everybody talked about them. They were renowned. And I feel like the same thing would happen if you were walking around in a robe covered in eyes.
Yeah.
Stories would be told. He could see you from behind.
That's true. There would be like legendary stories.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And history.
That would be
them.
great for a mom character.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Way to take the coolest thing and just make it lame.
No, but that'd be so cool. Like a mom who can actually has eyes in the back of her head.
Right. Or all over her back in this
She got
case.
that true side.
Like Thrud needs that. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. All right, Nathan, let's hit it.
All right. So the perfect response to this robe of eyes
Say
is
it. Say
Hold
no,
on.
the third
You
day.
got to say on the third day.
oh fuck.
Yeah, we got to get into
Come
that.
on. We got to get in the mood here. Do you mean to get off the thing of Jingle Bells?
On the third day of Christmas, my GM gave to me the Gem of Brightness.
Ooh, the Gem of Brightness.
By
Tell
the
us.
way, I love the naming convention for all these items in this book. The blank of blank. I think it's so funny. I get a kick out of it every time. It could be the most serious item, and I'm laughing at the name. I just love it.
The blank of blank.
Like the gloves of missile snaring.
I'm looking at one right here. Hammer of Thunderbolts.
Hammer of thunderbolts.
Well, I think it is a formula, right?
Yeah.
The sword of answering, the pearl of power, the oil of slipperiness.
The dust of dryness. Like, it's just so silly. Anyway,
dust of dustness.
I'm going to blow some dust of dryness on you.
whoa.
What does that mean?
Hold on.
What does that mean?
Anyway.
Is that your breath?
Gem of brightness.
Gem
Yes.
of brightness. So this prism has 50 charges. While you're holding it, you basically have 3 options. The first command word is basically you say your word, and within a 30-foot radius, it illuminates the surrounding area. And then for another 30 feet, it emits dim light. And then that's active until you repeat the command word or you use one of the other 2 functions. There's a second command word where you expend 1 charge. By the way, the first one does not use a charge, but the second one, you expend 1 charge and cause the gem to fire a brilliant beam of light at one creature you can see within 60 feet. The creature must succeed on a DC 15 con save, or have the blinded condition for 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of you with your eyes robes.
Yeah, just walking around flashbanging
Fucking-
people.
Who are you, Argus? Anyway. Oh, yeah. So for 1 minute, the creature repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on on itself on a success. The third command word is you expend 5 charges and cause the gem to flare in a 30-foot cone. And they have to make the same DC 15 con save lest they suffer the same condition.
That's
for 1
awesome.
minute. Yeah.
I love when there's
So,
like versatile ways to use something.
I never realized how bad I kind of wanted to flashbang people in D&D, but now it's like a flashbang.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant because you could just be the most annoying motherfucker ever.
Yeah, you really could be.
Like, you think Moonbeam's cool? Nah. I have a reusable flashbang.
Do the
in a cone
charges
shape.
Regenerate?
I
no?
don't think so. It does say when all the gem's charges are expended, the gem becomes a non-magical jewel worth 50 GP.
Oh, that's sad.
So
That's why it has so many charges. I was wondering why it had so
Yeah.
many charges on it.
yeah.
Because you're never going to use 50 in a day
No.
unless
No,
you're a freak.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, you really
just
gotta be
flashbangs
wise.
Unless you're
24/7.
robbing banks,
with
you
this.
know?
You know?
I like
But-
that though.
That's pretty
I
cool.
love
Cool.
this one. You could be so annoying with this.
Yeah.
You can like flashbang your buddies too. Wait, hold
Wait,
on.
wait.
Hold on. That's not what I meant. I mean, like,
Wow.
you
Wow.
know, in role
I'm
play
picturing
sense.
like the Men in Black pen.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Yes.
kind of what I was thinking about, how it has this other effect, right? It,
Yeah.
like wipes memory or does something like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
a
be
wizard or some performer would use it or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it has, again, oftentimes I come to these things and I'm thinking to myself, oh, what does this do? Like, what are the attributes of this thing? Like, does it give me a +1 or does it do a certain thing? But ultimately, sometimes it's kind of just enough to have the effect, meaning it just flashes this light. It's like, well, I can build the rest of that with my own narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And if you don't have dark vision or something, this gem is perfect for you. It can light the area around you indefinitely.
yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess, should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's yours?
All right. So I've got on the 4th day of Christmas. Now, wait a minute. Before I jump in here with this, should I do, because I have some things that are off the chain powerful, and I have one thing that's totally ridiculous.
Start with the powerful one because we've done some ridiculous ones already.
You want me to do? Well, I've got 2 things that are insanely powerful. So I'll pick the second most powerful one. All right. Because this one's kind of a favorite of mine. All right. On the 4th day of Christmas, my GM gave to me, and I don't know who my freaking GM is because I'm always the GM, but my GM gave to me the robe of the Archmagi, which to me is just like fantastic. Number one, I love the art in the DM's guide for this object, but this elegant garment is made from exquisite cloth and adorned with runes. You gain these benefits while wearing the robe. Number one, armor. If you aren't wearing armor, your base armor class is 15 plus your dexterity modifier. That's huge for a robe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start there. Number 2, magic resistance. You have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Also fantastic, right? And 3, war mage. Your spell save DC and spell attack bonus each increase by 2.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Come on, that's absolutely huge.
man.
That's kind
Yeah.
of nuts.
Okay, now this is a wondrous item. It is legendary and it requires an attunement by a sorcerer, a warlock, or a wizard. So we're limited in the classes that we can utilize this. And it should be basically unavailable to most anywhere.
yeah. I was going to say, you're reading those things off. I'm like, oh, this is pretty much an unavailable item.
Yeah.
This is,
It's interesting. It's a way to build your mage without dumping in constitution. You can get away with just doing dex and like intelligence or something.
Well, yeah, and on top
Yeah.
of that, if your dex is high, like if that's going to be your max stat for whatever reason, then you're also going to have an armor class that's off the chain, right?
Mhm.
Because you're basing out at 15. So yeah, it's phenomenal.
I like that.
So that's mine. That's mine. I think it'd be kind of beautiful to wear it too. It's very sort of cleric, very sort of, you have to see the piece of art that comes with this piece. I love it. I love it.
You want to toss that over to Brian?
Yeah. You want me to give it to you in the game?
Yeah, in the game.
Yeah. You're level what? 5? This would be perfect for you.
How about everybody else levels up a few times and then you get that
I can do
instead of
that.
leveling up.
Oh, yeah, I'll make everyone a level 8. You stay level 5, but you get Robe of the Archmagi.
That actually sounds kind of worth it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd stay at level 5. I get my second Eldritch Blast then. So
There you go.
That'll work. That'll work. All right, Rich, why don't we put you on the 5?
Oh.
We're skipping Garrett.
Oh.
Wait, I say Rich?
Yeah.
I meant Garrett. My bad.
Okay.
I was going to say, aren't we going around the table now?
Yeah,
that
we are.
picked the starting order?
Garrett, I would never skip you.
All right. I'm going to personally save my favorite for last, I think.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with this silly one. And this
on the 5th day.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my GM gave to me. The hat of many spells. Now just picture this. This is your, cheap magician up on stage. He's going to pull a rabbit from the hat. But instead, he's going to cast. This only works with a wizard. Has to be attuned by a wizard. But he's going to pull any unknown spell that he has in his book. It's an unknown spell. So any spell from the wizard table that he'd be able to cast. So you have to have that spell slot. There's a couple of other stipulations. Can't have a component cost over 1,000 gold. Anything other than that, you roll a DC check, an arcana DC check, 10 plus the spell's level. So, if you have a 7 spell slot, throw out whatever you want, essentially.
Right.
You expend your spell slot, you reach into this hat, you pull out the spell. You got to roll the DC check. If you pass, spell goes off. Normal. You fail. That's where it gets interesting. Then you got to roll a D100. And then there's a whole chart, and based on what you roll, all kinds of crazy things could happen. You could randomly cast Fireball. You could randomly cast Polymorph, Stinking Cloud. There's a ton of different spells that randomly could happen. There's harmless things that could happen. A swarm of butterflies appears.
That sounds kind of pleasant.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I mean, one thing that's a little, scary, a hostile swarm of bats can erupt from the hat and attack you.
Nice.
You could be paralyzed.
Nice.
You could be poisoned.
Batman.
It's really cool. I like the, just the unknown of if you fail this,
You got to give this to a wild magic sorcerer or something.
It so goes with it.
Is this only attunable by a wizard?
Only attunable by a wizard. But
wizard. Wow.
Wizard.
Is sorcerer the wild magic, or is it
I
wizard?
think you're thinking the sorcerer, I think, has a wild magic subclass. Could be wrong.
It's one of those, sorcerer or wizard.
But I just love the flavor that, personally, I would almost want to fail and just roll the random table.
Oh, yeah.
Well, also, I think my visual description of this hat would be one that was somewhat comical, or this is clearly a hat that was mismade, or just a bad piece of craft because it's got so many possible, bad outcomes.
Yep.
I love that.
That's what I loved about it.
Sorry, it would be so funny to write your own table
It would
of
be.
outcomes.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Can you imagine just
okay.
setting off like a fireball by accident?
What if we did this? Like if we had an object like that, what if we reached out to viewers and said, all right, we're compiling the table. Everybody contributes. Like, let's get some DMs out there to.
No, you know what it is?
Yes.
It's random every time, no table. You put it in the chat, and whoever puts out like the best suggestion, pick that one.
Oh my God, that could be deadly.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
By the way, you guys, this is a great moment to mention that in January, we're going to be taking our game live, and you are going to be able to, in the chat, have a say in what happens in our game. Now, there's going to be stipulations around that, of course, but we're working on that right now. And so stay tuned for that in January to look for us on YouTube playing live. But I digress. And can I just also mention about the hat of many spells and it being in the 5th day of Christmas? Is I kind of just want to blurt out hat of many spells. Yeah, it just kind of fits in there perfectly.
Thanks.
It does.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it works.
I like that.
It works. Rich, you want to do the 6th day?
On the 6th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me the Tome of the Stilled Tongue.
Oh, wow.
That's appropriate.
When I first saw this, it very much gave me like Saruman's Sphere. And I think it could be really, I like it mostly for like game flavor and story purposes. So listen here. It's a legendary item, and it can be attuned by a wizard. It says, the book has a desiccated tongue pinned to its front cover. 5 of these tomes exist, and it's unknown which one is the original. The tongue on the first tome of the stilled tongue belonged to a treacherous former servant of the Lich Vecna. The tongues pinned to the covers of the 4 copies came from other spellcasters who crossed Vecna. The first few pages of each tome are filled with indecipherable scrawls, and the remaining pages are blank.
Is this an artifact?
This is a item.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a wondrous item legendary. And then the rest is, while attuned to this item, you can use it as a spell book and an arcane focus. In addition, while holding this tome, you can take a bonus action to cast a spell you have written in this tome without expending a spell slot or using any verbal or somatic components, meaning it could be any level spell for free.
Whoa.
Once you use this property of the tome, can't be used again until the next dawn. Now, here's the really cool part that I really enjoyed as far as role play. Only you can remove the tongue from the book's cover. If you do so, all spells written in the book are permanently erased, and Vecna watches anyone using this tome and can write cryptic messages in it.
Ooh.
These messages typically fade away after they are read.
It's a Tom Riddle diary.
It's a Tom Riddle
that's
diary.
amazing. I've always wanted to use a book like that in a campaign.
Mm-hmm. It's a Tom Riddle diary, and it's a Saruman sphere. It's exactly what it is.
That's cool.
Isn't that awesome?
That's nuts.
Not only is it super useful, but like you can have the BBEG just like
Chatting
talking
straight
to
to
one
you.
person. They don't even know it. Maybe they think they're friends, and the player starts talking to them.
There's so many ways that could go. There are so many ways that could go.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
Holy
that.
shit.
super useful, man. I can't wait to see that or something. Oh my god.
So on the 7th day of Christmas, my GM gave to me sending stones. I love this one because it's kind of like walkie-talkies. So it's 2 stones. When you touch one stone, you can cast sending from it. And so the other person holding the other stone gets whatever message. But if nobody's holding it, you as the sender will know that nobody's holding it. And I love this because there's so many times where the party splits in a town and one group gets attacked by big, evil, scary men. And then the other team kind of has to like metagame bullshit their way to catch up with everybody else. And I'm always like, yeah, yippee, like, maybe I won't die. But I'm also like, okay, like, come on. There's no way in hell you would have.
Are you talking about your past experiences?
I'm
It
talking
seems like
about
you're
2
scarred.
past experiences.
It
Right?
sounded very familiar to
It
me.
Yeah.
did.
Very familiar. Hey, watch Indira's Embers. No reason. Anyway, but like these are like little convenient walkie-talkies. And
Yeah.
if you're going to split the party, you can at least be fucking smart about it, because let's be honest, there's no smart way to split a party.
I've used these before
I disagree.
in games. I've actually given these to, of course you would disagree, Rich. But I have used sending stones in games before and I actually quite like them. I think they're really effective. They're minimal. They don't overpower the party, but they offer a means of what would otherwise be impossible communication.
Right.
Is there a distance cap on sending stone?
Let's see.
No,
It doesn't mention one. No.
No.
That's
There is-
nuts.
Because they're
dude.
the stones that are linked together.
correct.
It can only be used once a day, and upon one being destroyed, the other one is rendered non-magical.
Useless. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. So we're going to take a break. And then when we come back from the break, we're going to get to the other 5 days of Christmas. And we're also going to do 3-sentence backstory in that segment. So we'll be right back, everybody. See you in a few. Hello, esteemed listeners. Listen, if you like what we're doing here on iCast Guidance, we have a brand new way that you could possibly say thanks for doing what it is that we do. And don't get us wrong, we love to do this, and we come together every week. We're spending all of our week trying to think about how we're going to present to you a new topic We're doing the research, and frankly, we love it. We love getting together to talk about this stuff. But we thought we should put into play some kind of system where if you wanted to pop in and buy us a cup of coffee because you like listening to the show, that we gave you a way to do that. So we are now on Ko-fi.com, and coffee is spelled ko-fi.com/Wither and Bloom Studios. You can head over to that site and you could leave us a tip, or you could even sign up for a monthly membership if you want to. And by doing this, you say to us that you really love what we're up to and you hope that we keep going. And frankly, when we get those tips, we feel supported. We feel like, oh yeah, cool. This is, we're getting some affirmation here. That's great. So anyway, consider heading over there and doing that. And if you can't afford to, that's okay. Tell a friend about the podcast, spread the word about us, and get other people to listen to us. We would appreciate that as well. Anyway, thanks again for listening, and let's get back to the show. All right, we're back from the break, and we need to do 3-sentence backstory.
Mhm.
So we decided on the break who was going to do, out of the four of us, who was going to do 3-sentence backstory. We rolled for it. Unfortunately, Garrett's out. But
I'm number one.
yeah,
I'm
you're number one again. All right, so I'll start us off. And I think apropos of the recent weather we've had here in our hometown, I am from a tiny little snowy village located in the northernmost regions of whatever land it is that we are exploring. That's enough.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. One
Nathan,
sentence.
what's an event that happened in your life?
A massive storm came, which buried half of my village alive in snow.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And Rich, what put you on the road to adventure?
Okay, all right. I'm coming out of left field with this one. The thing that put me on the road to adventuring was realizing that if I could summon a storm powerful enough to kill half my village, I could learn to summon a storm powerful enough to kill half the planet.
Holy
No fucking way.
damn, dude, that was,
No fucking way.
Mic drop.
yeah, boom. Holy crap. That was so good.
Dude,
Yes. Thank you.
Holy
oh my God.
shit.
That's a good
That was
one.
legendary.
That was
Yeah.
worth the time.
was
We
good.
waited, right? Wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
you really cooked.
I needed a moment on that one.
Wow.
So for those of you that realize I probably cut the blank spots out of this podcast, that, we don't prep for these things. We kind of do them at spur of the moment, impromptu kind of moments. And Rich just kind of sat there in silence for the longest time.
Yeah, maybe like 2 minutes.
And
And
then,
he started saying something really stupid, but then he came back
well, I don't
to
know
it
about that.
30 seconds later, and it was awesome.
All right. Nice job. All right. That one's going to go in the archive. All right. So we are on the 8th day of Christmas, and I have to pull mine together. So I think I'm going to go with my less serious one this time, because I'm going to save my more powerful one for last. All right. So on the 8th day of Christmas, my GM gave to me a pole of collapsing.
It sounds so dumb.
The pole of collapsing is a wondrous item, and it is common. While holding this 10-foot pole, you can use an action to speak a command word and cause it to collapse into a 1-foot-long rod for ease of storage. The pole's weight doesn't change. You can use an action to speak a different command word and cause the rod to revert to a pole. However, the rod will elongate only as far as the surrounding space allows.
Wait. So there's an unmeasurable amount of how big it can be?
No, it'll go up to 10 feet. But
Oh,
if you don't
10
have
feet.
10 feet, it conveniently will fit in whatever size space you
That's so
have.
dumb.
I love it. Can you imagine what the command words could be for this?
Conjunculus.
Or you could be like, oh God, I just had one that's so inappropriate.
Deeper.
It's just stop.
Did you just say that?
I did.
Oh my God, I was thinking Irish and German, but
Go gadget hard on.
Dude, why the hell would I need a retractable walking stick?
Why not?
come on, it's a really fun object. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like his hat.
Wait, you
What?
could insert it
No.
in someone's
No.
mouth and
No,
then
stop.
make it expand.
Yeah, but it would only go as big as the space allows.
Yeah, but the person who's getting it inserted into their mouth doesn't know that.
Oh. Hold on.
So you could do it in front of them and then be like, all right,
Whoa.
let's do this. And then put it in their mouth.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
This is going in a direction I'm not entirely comfortable with.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking anything along the lines of that, but like,
You're so wholesome.
I did say deeper, but no, I mean, an item like that, it's so simple, but it's how you're going to in the certain situation. How are you going to use it?
Right.
Ooh, like a prison escape, maybe. Like they let you keep because it's so tiny,
Right.
and you have and you get the keys
You
by
can
like
get the
sticking
keys.
out.
You
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
Like, yeah.
Keep it like on a pendant.
Because it's really unassuming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, 12
I
inches.
mean, it'd be heavy.
I mean, it is 1 foot when it's fully retracted. So that isn't
Oh.
small, but it isn't also doesn't seem like a weapon necessarily.
Yeah.
It's baton-like for sure.
That's interesting. I
That'd
like
be
that.
pretty cool if you're wearing some like cool robes and whatnot, and some dude comes up to you and he's like, "Give me all of your gold pieces," and suddenly out of your arm like bursts a 10-foot pole, and they're like, "Oh fuck no!"
Right, exactly. Or especially, can you imagine a monk that's able to sort of wield this drunken master style where it's really short and you're just kind of like smacking someone about the face and head with it. And then all of a sudden, whack, it becomes 10 feet
10 feet
long and you've
long.
got this staff that you can fight 12 people with. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love
I
that.
think it's kind of cool.
Or think of it like this: you're a monk, and you end up like balancing on it, and then you expand it, and you go up 10 feet in the air, and you use it as like a jumping.
Yeah,
spring,
exactly.
you know?
Exactly. Because I think this carries all of the expected qualities and attributes of the typical 10-foot pole from the adventuring gear table, right? So you could use it to test for traps in a dungeon. You could be probing the floor with it. And it's brilliant in that if you don't have 10 feet of ceiling space, it's only going to expand to 7 or 8.
And you can use it to get across gaps.
I would think so.
See, I was thinking of it as a utility.
Yeah.
You were
All right.
trying
You
to
won
figure
me
out how to
over on
kill
this
someone
one.
with it.
Or if you need a tightrope walk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
it could
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good tool. All right. I'm done.
Sweet.
You're up, Garrett.
9.
We are a 9.
Yeah.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my DM gave to me. This was my favorite one. Or the one that I think I would want the most, maybe.
Okay.
So this comes straight from the 80s D&D cartoon. This is Hank's bow, but it is labeled as the energy bow
Oh, yeah.
in the 2024 DMG. Energy bow. It is a weapon, either a longbow or short bow. Very rare, requires attunement. It is a +1 bow, but what's cool about it is it requires no ammunition. It automatically appears. The magical ammunition. It also emanates bright light in a 20-foot radius, dim light for an additional 20 feet. So if you're in a dark space, there's your light source. It deals force damage instead of piercing damage, and force damage is one of the least resistant damages on the table. But what's cool about it is the 3 other options that you have. It has additional properties. Arrow of Restraint. When you use this weapon to make a ranged attack against a creature, you can try to restrain the target instead of dealing damage. If the target the target must succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or have the restrained condition for a minute. As an action, it can try to break free, blah, 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 blah. One of my favorite ones, though, is the second option, Arrow of Transportation.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We were talking about this before we came down here.
Oh, God.
So as a magic action, you can fire 1 energy arrow from this weapon to a target you can see within 60 feet of yourself. The target must be willing, and it's medium or small creature, or an object that isn't being worn or held, and it is teleported to a location within 10 feet of yourself.
That's phenomenal.
If your wizard is in a, tight spot, they're about to get, murked by the big bad.
I don't know when that happens.
Shoot them with the arrow, and it's an automatic, essentially a dimension door.
Ah,
It's got some, limitations. It's only 60 feet.
Wait, is it a willing creature?
It's a willing creature. You can't bring.
Like you can't be flying and then hit an enemy and make them teleport 60 feet in the air and drop them?
It's a willing creature. So it's mainly for, but one of the other things is an object. If you're trying to reach an object that's, maybe up high. If it's not being carried, if it's just an animate object, and the object has a limitation of a 5-foot cube.
Right. But imagine if behind the big bad, there is a magic item you need or a chest of treasure that you want to get. You fire an arrow into that thing and boom, it's sitting right next to you. That's phenomenal.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And the third available option is called Energy Ladder. It says as a magic action, you can loose a flurry of energy arrows from this weapon at a wall up to 60 feet away from yourself. The arrows become glowing rungs that stick out of the wall to form a magical ladder up to 60 feet long on the wall. And the ladder lasts for a minute before disappearing.
So much utility.
But it's like, we need to get on the roof, pop, 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 and you just run up the rungs.
Oh my God, I love that. I love
so
that.
Cool.
There's so many uses for this. And it really makes a character that would have otherwise been just like purely damage based. It makes them able to like maneuver the battlefield and kind of like make plays.
And that's what it's really about, right? I love the fact that this is not some super powerful weapon that's going to like smite any enemy.
Yeah.
This is sort of like, now you got to engage some creativity to make this work.
Totally. Yeah.
That's what I love about it. It's not a massive damage dealing, like overpowered bow that like, Hail of Thorns type thing that you shoot and it does an additional blah, 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 blah. It's a utility thing.
That would be great for one of those elves that can shadow step. And let's say you're a hunter or whatever, a ranger, right? So you're like shooting the bow and you're usually just like damage based, but now you can maneuver your people around the battlefield. Yeah. And be less of a solo player.
Yeah, if you were able to maneuver yourself, because you were like saying some kind of like shadow step or something.
Yeah, so
if
you were
able
to teleport
maneuver,
yourself.
Yeah, and then you could bring another person.
Yeah.
Maybe the big bad somehow hopped up on the roof and then you could somehow, if you were able to get up there, but then bring someone else with you. It's pretty cool.
Super fun.
It's a very utility item.
Yeah.
I like it.
Fantastic. All right, Rich, you got number 10.
All right, I'm going to make a plea. I want to say 2 common items for my last one because I like, is that cool?
You can say 2. I'll let you say 2.
Because they're common.
Well, they're common. So it's like bringing 2 small gifts to the party rather than one big one.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And they both anger me in different ways.
Oh, good. I'm glad they make you angry.
I like to be mad about things.
Okay.
On the 10th day of Christmas, my DM brought to me, and this reminds me of Todd, because I can't for the life of me understand why he drinks these things. A tankard of sobriety, which is basically a non-alcoholic beer.
I love non-alcoholic beer.
I've seen this.
Wondrous item, common. This tankard has a stern face sculpted into one side. You can drink ale, wine, and any other non-magical alcoholic beverage poured into it without becoming inebriated. The tankard has no effect on magical liquid or harmful substances such as poison. It's so stupid.
Well, no, wait a minute. I can think of a cinema-based scenario where this would have come in handy.
In a drinking competition?
Well, yeah, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when what's her name? The girlfriend or the woman of interest is in that Siberian bar and she starts drinking vodka against somebody and she wins every time, right? So you could throw down with somebody in a drinking contest and they'd have no idea.
That might be the only use.
Okay, so it's a one use. It's like that. It's like a waffle iron, right?
Yeah.
It's like a appliance with one use.
It's kind of annoying, But more importantly, right? This second item, I think totally devalues an entire aspect of a game, and it's called the bead of nourishment. And if you eat this bead, it gives you all the nourishment you need for one day. So all your calories and everything for one day. It completely gets rid of any survival aspect of your game if you're heavy on that.
These are common?
That was a common item, I believe.
That's a common item.
Yeah.
And it's like lembas bread.
Oh.
Isn't that annoying?
Okay.
Like if you enjoy the survival aspect of D&D, if you actually like apply that,
yeah,
it it seems like why?
Well, I get that. I get why you're annoyed at that, because either you're enjoying the survival aspects of D&D and dealing with notions of hydration and food consumption and the inevitable exhaustion that kicks in if you don't have them, or you're just leaving that off the table. You're not in some middle ground that somebody wakes up every morning and says, I eat my bead of nourishment.
Yeah. Like, that's so anticlimactic. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
You pop a vitamin in your mouth and you are magically good.
And you're
for the
good
day.
to go.
All right. Yeah. It is a common item, wondrous. So,
Okay.
not a fan of that.
I think it's just a flavor item. It's,
It's good berry.
it is and it isn't. Goodberry gives you, it restores health where this doesn't, right?
True.
This is only a nourishment thing. So it's if you're, like you said, if you're getting granular about survival stuff or you need a ration. Other than that, I mean, it's just a flavor thing.
We
It's like-
should do a podcast topic on survival aspects of the game and whether or not you should put them in your game or not. Because
yeah, that's totally on the menu. We've got that planned, I think.
Yeah. I know some like games, like if we're talking like video games, I know one reason I didn't like Red Dead Redemption was because you had to pet your horse and make sure he felt happy in order to
That's
ride
cute,
him.
though.
That's so annoying.
That's
supposed
so
to be
cute.
bonding with
It's
that
a
horse.
video game. I don't want to get off my horse and pet him while I'm trying to go.
So then play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, seriously.
Brother,
The game.
I don't want to take 10 minutes to actually get down and search every person I'm searching when there's 30 bodies in the
I
battlefield.
do.
You do? So you want
I-
to play games for 10 hours long to do one thing?
This is the reason why I haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3, because I search every single corner.
And how exhausting is that for you,
single
Garrett?
body.
That's why you haven't finished
It's
it.
what I do. I am. I
You
do-
can't look at me and tell me
stuff.
that makes a game better. It only detracts.
I do the
Unless
same
you're in
thing
D&D.
because I'm just curious. I
I
mean,
search every corner. I search every body.
it's to a point where I'm just like, all right, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna do what I think I'm supposed to do because I'm digging way too deep. But
I think
see
it's
it.
useful in D&D because, in D&D, it's not scripted or anything. But after seeing the same animation 20 times for trying to get ammo off of dead bodies, I'm like,
It's-
okay.
It's a problem. I have a problem when it comes to something like that.
First step is admitting it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to find every little fallout. I'm looting everything. And then I travel back to the base and I dump that shit.
Oh.
And
Skyrim, my carry weight is always.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Any
Skyrim,
game like that.
big.
I'm always ditching herbs and various
and
like plant
entire
matter.
cheese wheels.
Yeah, exactly. Or eating them.
Yeah. Which, there's a mod for Skyrim that it's a survival based mod. And it takes into account obviously food, water, but also temperature. And there's a lot of cold areas in Skyrim, and you have to be prepared for that.
I like that.
It's really
but we are
cool.
getting way off.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
we
sorry.
are. We are. My bad.
No, it's not your bad at all. I like the conversation. I think that that sort of granular aspect of gameplay is important. And you guys know I love that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
11th day, Nathan.
The 11th day of Christmas, Nathan, you're up.
Wait, would you ever have us file taxes in Atania?
Our tax collector's going to
that's
come
a
after us.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are on
Yeah.
the run from the tax collector because you inherited your bastion and you have not paid property taxes on it. So either A, it's going to go into foreclosure, it's going to be reclaimed by the city, or you got to pay up.
And you could have something
Yeah.
like from Game of Thrones, like the Golden Company coming after us or something.
Yeah.
From the bank.
Granular gameplay. Let's do it.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's do the 11th day of Christmas.
Yeah. All right. So I'm stuck between two things because I really like both of these things.
You seriously, you're going to copy me like that?
No. Because one's a very rare item and one's a common item.
Go with the very rare.
It's at the end. Go with the rare.
With the very rare.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but the other one's so much funnier. Okay. Anyway, so on the 11th day of Christmas, my very kind, loving GM
Love
gave
you.
to me the bag of devouring.
Ooh.
Now, this bag it does have a capacity to hold inanimate objects. It can hold a cubic foot of such material. However, the bag swallows any objects inside it and spits them out into another plane of existence, which the DM determines where that goes. Oh, and this is because while the bag resembles a bag of holding, it is a feeding orifice for a giant extra-dimensional creature. Turning the bag inside out closes the orifice. Now,
Ouch.
the extra-dimensional creature attached to the bag can sense whatever is placed inside. Animal or vegetable matter placed wholly in the bag is devoured and lost forever. When part of the living creature is placed inside of the bag, as happens when somebody reaches inside it, there is a 50% chance that the creature is pulled inside the bag. A creature inside the bag can take an action to try to escape, doing so with the successful DC 15 strength check or athletics check. Another creature can take an action to reach into the bag and pull a creature out, doing so with a successful DC 20 strength or athletics check.
Wait, pause. You reach in to get your friend and then you get yanked in.
Yes, exactly.
yes,
the
yes.
whole party goes in. You know, I love this. Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
Are you done with your description?
No, because that was the next sentence. Provided the puller isn't pulled inside the bag itself. Any creature that starts its turn inside the bag is devoured, its body destroyed.
This is
Lastly,
incredible.
if the bag is pierced or torn, it is destroyed, and everything contained within is transported to a random location on the astral plane.
Oh my God, that is totally going to be
Fucking
something I'm putting in the game that Remy is going to loot.
Yep.
Are you trying to kill Remy?
Yep.
Oh my God.
I just think it would be hilarious.
Imagine
Remy's going to stick her hand in there and get yanked in and disappear forever.
Imagine Remy picks up another rat and puts it in a little bag. And
Crunch,
it's just
crunch,
gone.
crunch.
She's like, oh no, my rat ran away. We spent an entire session fucking looking for it.
Or imagine like you get taken captive or something, like the bandits see this bag and they put it over your head to like, blind you. And then you get yanked into the bag.
Oh my God. You know not what you have done.
Oh my God, I love it. And I just thought that for the 12th day of Christmas, I was going to have the most OP thing in the game. But I think you just topped
That's
me.
a great weapon.
That's nuts.
That's a fantastic weapon.
Holy shit.
Our party needs a body disposable bag.
I was going to say, we've had a lot of body problems.
Yes,
we could have used
we
one of those on
have.
many occasions.
The how many body problem?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do it. On
Do
the
it.
12th day of Christmas, my GM gave to me. And of course, I wanted to have the big thing here, but I've got to go with the Talisman of Pure Good or the Talisman of Pure Evil. They are two different objects. They do essentially the same thing, but to opposite alignments. All right. So in this case, I'm going to choose the Talisman of Pure Good. Okay. Here we go. Now, first of all, this is a wondrous item. It is legendary and it requires attunement by a creature of good alignment. So if it's the Talisman of Pure Good, you have to be good. No neutral, no evil. Okay. It's got to be straight up good. Here we go. This talisman is a mighty symbol of goodness. A creature that is neither good nor evil in alignment takes 66 radiant damage upon touching the talisman. An evil creature takes 8d6 radiant damage upon touching the talisman. Either sort of creature takes the damage again each time it ends its turn holding or carrying the talisman. So imagine for a minute you just drape this talisman around the neck of someone who is neutral or evil. Every turn, they're taking 6 or 8d6 worth of damage. But wait, there's more, because this gets really good. Now, if you're a good cleric or paladin, you can use the talisman as a holy symbol, and you gain +2 bonus to spell attack rolls while you wear or hold it. So that alone right there
I like
is kind of nice, right? But it even gets better. The talisman has 7 charges. By the way, the Talisman of Pure Evil or Ultimate Evil has 6 charges. 6 or 7.
Interesting.
If you are wearing or holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge from it and choose 1 creature you can see on the ground within 120 feet of you. If the target is of evil alignment, a flaming fissure opens under it. The target must succeed on a DC 20 dexterity saving throw or fall into the fissure and be destroyed, leaving no remains. The fissure then closes, leaving no trace of its existence. When you expend the last charge, the talisman disperses into motes of golden light and is destroyed.
Like what?
This is the ultimate weapon. You could basically, you see somebody within 120 feet and you're like, you. And the fissure opens up
They
underneath.
have to be evil, though.
They have to be evil, but come on, the BBEG. Like, how many times are you walking into? I mean, you could have used this against Strahd, for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a DC 20 dexterity saving throw for Strahd would not have been hard.
Fair.
You know,
That's
Hate that
true.
guy.
But he could have gotten really unlucky.
but you've got 7 of those charges.
Yeah.
7.
So
You-
3 of them are definitely burned in legendary
Do
actions.
you remember-
And then
Yeah.
Do
I
you
mean, that's
remember-
better than the pendant you get in Curse of Strahd.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what he had? Like what plus to that? What does he have to roll? DC 20 on what?
Dex.
Dex.
Dex save.
Dex. Do you remember what he had to Dex?
What Strahd had to
Yeah.
Dex. If I had the book in front, I
Probably
could pull it up.
insane.
But I think his Dex was somewhere around. Strahd actually has a dexterity of 18, which is +4.
Oh,
Okay.
lame.
What a
That's
loser.
not bad.
So you could have swallowed him up. Not that any GM is going to stick the Talisman of Pure Good into Curse of Strahd. That's a game killer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Because you can take out them all.
Yeah.
The wives, Rahadin, Strahd, all of them. Boom.
Fair.
This game was
Yeah.
easy. All right, listen, we got to wrap this up because we are running really long. So that was the 12 Days of Christmas. So to recap, we're going to go down this list. So we had on the 12 Days of Christmas, my true love, my DM gave to me the Talisman of Pure Good, the Bag of Devouring, the Bead of Nourishment, the Energy Bow, the Pole of Collapsing, Sending Stones, the Tome of the Stilled Tongue, Hat of Many Spells, the Robe of the Archmagi, the Gem of Brightness, the Robe of Eyes, and Baba Yaga's Dancing Broom.
This was so fun.
It was
This was
great.
awesome.
I love this episode.
This was really good.
This was lovely.
All right, all of you, listen, number 1, thank you so much for listening. Number 2, as you heard in the break, you can support us by going over to Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/Wither and Bloom Studios. If you would like to give some support, buy us a cup of coffee. We'd love that. But we'd also love you to go over to YouTube, find Wither and Bloom Studios, and give us a follow, and definitely comment on this video when you find it. We hope you have a great holiday, and we look forward to coming back and talking to you real soon. Guys, thanks so much for this convo. This was great.
Have a good holiday, guys.
Yeah, have a great holiday.
Mwah.
All right. Talk to you soon, everybody. Take care. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to iCast Guidance. iCast Guidance is produced by Todd Lambrix, Garrett Brennan, and Rich Froman. We drop this podcast every week, and we are looking forward to having you hang out for more. Don't forget to head on over to Wither and Bloom Studios on YouTube, follow our channel, and definitely comment on what you see there. We will probably read those on this show. Thanks again for listening. We look forward to next time.